I don't know if we're made to love our work. Like Genesis says, the ground will be hard. And we're just out here being like, oh, once I have a million subscribers, I just want to feel love and peace and joy in retirement.
Ruslan.
Why there's an epidemic of epic proportions of YouTubers quitting YouTube and what you can do and what you can learn from it.
So in the past couple of weeks and months, there's been a lot of YouTubers quitting. A lot of OG creators from people who've been doing it 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 years. Legends and people who we all are familiar with who've been around YouTube for a long time.
That's a lot of YouTubers, by the way. That's it's not just like one or two.
And they're like fairly known ones too. It's not like, you know, you're obscure gamer.
Right. You saw one of the guys that kind of came up with Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, he showed his thumbnail in there too. Matty Hipoya is like peacing out.
Or leaving or cutting back or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I've noticed, and a lot of you guys have asked me for my thoughts or to chime in. Not that this isn't one of those videos, I'm not doing that, but I do have my own situation. I've been at this a long time, and so I figured I'd throw in my 2 cents. Figured I would chime in. So first of all, this thing that we're doing here, this is a dream job. No question about it. Like, we cannot forget that. I think there's a stat, I've referenced it before, but what you ask children of the 2010s and 2020s what they want to be when they grow up, and the most popular answer is YouTuber. Oof. They want to be YouTubers when they grow up. That didn't exist 20.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
How do you feel? You're Gen Z, Gen Alpha
living a dream,
icon.
man. Living a dream.
Years ago, they all wanted to be other things, firefighters, movie stars. Now, I'm sure a lot of this is they just want to be famous, or this is the new version of, you know, Hollywood famous, and they don't really understand all that comes with this. That's totally normal. But the point is, it's a very sought after job, and that's something we all have to acknowledge. But as Tom Scott put it so eloquently, a dream job is still a job.
I can't keep this up. This is my dream job, and I have a lot of fun doing it. I know I'm incredibly lucky, but a dream job is still a job, and it's a job that keeps getting bigger and more complicated. I'm so tired.
So I've watched all these.
Interesting.
Okay, pull up the statistics I have here. These are crazy. How many successful YouTubers are there? So check these statistics out real quick. 90% of channels never get to 10,000 subscribers. Less than 10% of channels are monetized in the YouTube partner program. Less than 10% of channels are monetized.
Wow.
Less than 400,000 channels have play buttons worldwide. So if you have 100,000 subscribers, you are in the top 400,000 YouTube channels. 88% of videos on YouTube, not counting shorts, have less than 1,000 views as of 2020. Less than 60,000 channels in the US have 100,000 subscribers as of 2023. Okay. Wait, no, so I was wrong. So less than 60. So if you have 100,000 subscribers, you're in the top 60,000 channels. Okay.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Less than 40,000 channels worldwide have 1 million subscribers. Less than 1,500 channels have 10 million subscribers, which that number is a lot higher than I thought it was. That's kind of a big number. 1,500 people
have
10 million. Now, here is the good news. I think, chat, if you're here, can we generally agree that if you have 1 million subscribers and you're actively uploading, you're probably making a good living off of YouTube?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, is that fair?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Without a doubt.
Now compare that to Hollywood. Do you think there's 40,000 actors making a good living in Hollywood?
No.
You think there's 40,000 broadcasters making a good living in Hollywood?
No way.
In media?
Yeah.
News anchors. You think there's 40,000 people in the NBA? You think there's 40,000 professional signed artists to major labels?
Probably not.
So all things considering, those are actually better odds than the other things that kids grew up wanting to be.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of a different way to think about it, right?
Totally.
There's 500 active players in the NBA, and there's 40,000 YouTube channels with 1 million subscribers.
Making good money.
Making good money. And I don't think this is counting shorts. And then it goes on, India is a huge country, so YouTube has 2.6 billion subscribers. 40% of traffic come from mobile devices. Some interesting statistics regarding YouTube that are unique to YouTube. Unlike being a YouTuber, I think you're way more likely to be a YouTuber and be successful at that than any other profession, which is massive in comparison to the stuff I grew up wanting to be, a professional athlete.
Yep.
Well, gosh, there's only 500 slots on a team in the NBA, and maybe 5,000 worldwide that play international, right? So that's like the best of the best of the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
Being a signed artist on a major label is almost nothing, right? Now, I want you to check out this video. This is from Rick Beato. He does like musicology YouTube channels, and he's booming. And listen to his thoughts on it. It's kind of the same video. Opens about all these YouTubers retiring and how he likes watching these videos.
That follows my channel knows I put videos out whenever they're done. I put them out. If they're done at 9:45 in the morning, I put it out. If they're done at 6 o'clock at night, I put it out. When I do live streams on Thursdays, on Fridays, on Sundays, on Saturdays, sometimes at night, sometimes at 2:30 in the afternoon. I don't ever set schedules. I go on when I'm ready. Sometimes my mic is muted and people are like, Rick, your mic's muted. And oh, sorry. And the first, 20 seconds of it are silent. And I think that the success of my channel is related to me making videos on things I'm interested in. If I always just follow that, it never becomes a job. A job, I think, has this negative connotation to it.
Right.
And I find if I go by the typical YouTuber lifespan, I made this video a couple years ago called Nothing Lasts Forever. And I talked about how this will be my last job being a YouTuber here on this channel. I had a job as a college professor in my 20s till I was 30. I tried to make it in a band in my 30s up until I was 37. Got dropped. I became a music producer. I did that until 2016 when I started this channel. But this will be my last job. I will retire from this being a YouTuber, for better or worse. So that I know. Nothing lasts forever. But the idea, when people ask me, other YouTubers, like, Rick, how do you keep doing this? How do you find new topics? And I said, I just think about things that I'm interested in. Whatever comes to mind, walking around, and I was like, ooh, that'd be something to make a good topic on, or anything I want to explore. Talk about. I know a lot of people come here because they've watched my What Makes This Song Great videos, or they watch my top 20 countdown.
The interesting thing that he said is this is going to be his last job. He doesn't have an upload schedule.
Yep.
And but the crux of what he's saying distinguishes him is that he just makes videos that he likes to make. Right? Instead of chasing audience capture and what people want you to make and remaking the same video over and over again, he's just a brilliant musician, mixer in his studio. I think he's a mixer in his studio. Just literally talking about what he wants to talk about. And that seems like a balance there.
Yeah.
Seems like the way to build something that's sustainable versus something that completely robs you of all joy over time because you're just making stuff that other people want you to make. And before you know it, you're burnt out.
Yeah, you have to be very aware of the type of content you're making and whether that's something that you're actually interested in still. Because you might be interested at one point when it was first booming, but you might look at the future and be like, can I make this in a year or 2 years from now? And if that's a no, then it's time to like, hey, let's switch that up before we're at the burnout point. I mean, we're doing something very similar right now where, like the first phase of the channel was you talking about everything, including politics. Then I came on shortly after. And then it became very like Christian church culture. If you guys were around, there was mega church pastor call out phase, right? Then after that, we're like, okay, we don't want to keep doing that. We want to do net positive content. Yes, and. So then we slowly shifted and it worked to like more, we like this. This was cool. Props to this person. So less negative content, more positive content. And now we're looking at like, okay, cool. That's a cool way to share small messages. But in the long run, how do we get Christians living a flourishing life? That's knowing God and making him known. And that might be more than just like Nephilim are here type of thing. And so
the Nephilim are at the mall.
And so those are fun to make. But we think ahead of time and go, okay, all right, let's start trying a video on what purpose really means. And let's try making these work, and we see them work, and we're shifting kind of the direction a little bit in a way that the people still like.
Well, and ultimately stuff that we want to make.
And exactly. And ultimately stuff that you want to make. So
it's that balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're not like, oh, I was just on autopilot for 2 years, and now I'm burnt out because I made my 5th Nephilim and my 100th Joe Rogan video. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point you gotta shift.
Right.
And then also there's the juxtaposition of like, if you were at any other job, what would it require of you? There would be monotony.
There'd be stuff you don't like to do.
There would be stuff you don't like to do. There would be stuff that you do every single day, regardless. Regardless of the topic you like, you're still editing. Regardless of the topic you're shooting, you're still making a thumbnail. You're still interacting with the YouTube chat. You're still uploading. You're still doing all the things. And so then it's like, I don't know if we're made to like love our work. Like Genesis says, the ground will be hard. And we're just out here being like, oh, once I have a million subscribers, I just want to feel love and peace and joy in retirement. It's like, no, I think it's supposed to be difficult.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
there's gonna be pain in the process.
Right.
It's not, the ground won't be as fertile as it should have been. Like it's gonna be difficult.
Yep.
And I think knowing that ahead of time, of just being like, oh, even when I get to the thing I like, there's gonna be a degree of pain and difficulty.
That's good.
That doesn't mean I need to run from it. That is part of the process.
Yeah.
And then you see these other YouTubers that are like, I'm retiring, and it's like, well, you have a platform, you can do whatever you want.
Right. And that's where, whatever that milestone is, or whatever that amount is, or whatever that financial state is, people can do that if they want to do that.
Yep.
But I think what you're getting at is learning to fall in love with the process.
Yes.
And learning to love the work is how you keep yourself from burning out from the work. Thanks so much for watching that video. Listen, I believe one of the best ways to build any business or any venture is to build your own online presence, specifically through the platform of YouTube. That's what we've been able to do. So if you would like to see a free training put together by our COO, Zach Sparazzo, on the #1 ingredient and the step needed to begin to build your own online platform, make sure to hit the pinned comment below and sign up for our weekly email list, where we'll get that to you right away. And I'll be sending you different emails about lessons I'm learning in real time, doing everything that we're doing here at Kingstream Entertainment. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.